Howdy folks, howdy. Sean Brock here with you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'd certainly appreciate it. So, in addition to instruments, guitars, mandolins, fiddles, banjos, and all that stuff, I have a great interest and always have had a great interest in hats. And I've had a lot of people asking me over the last few months about my hats, if there's any significance. Often you see one of my hat racks in the videos, and I actually got multiple hat racks and hats in the closet and hats on the dresser. So I got a lot of hats. So I thought something I want to do is every week I want to do a hat of the week. And this week we're starting out with what may be my favorite hat of all times. This is a made by Cindy Bowling over at Dry Creek Hatters in Ada, Oklahoma. And I'm going to put some links down in the description box. I want you guys to check this out. The city of Ada did a wonderful video on Cindy and her shop. Her and her husband started it many years ago. And Cindy's a very, very knowledgeable person about hats, an extremely good crafter of hats. And she, something interesting about her, she was Blake Shelton's teacher. I can't remember what year what grade she had him in. I want to say it was the 6th grade, but I could be wrong about that. But there's a really good video, so check out the description box, and you actually watch Cindy start to finish on a hat and talk about kind of the history of her and her husband and his rodeoing activities and their ranching life, and in addition to her life as an educator. And just a very, very wonderful hatter, just millinery expertise. So this is a 100X hat. It's solid beaver. The bodies for these come from Winchester Hat Company down in Winchester, Tennessee, which is, other than Hatco, the only source currently for 100% beaver bodies. And Hatco, I suppose, if you don't know hats, Hatco owns just about everybody. They own Knox, they own Stetson, Dobbs, Rodeo King, the list goes on and on and on and on. They own dozens upon dozens of brands of hats. So they kind of got a monopoly on the United States, and they've had good times and bad times, and there's certain brand names that are under the Hatco umbrella that are better than others. And we will get into some of those. I'm going to do a Western hat or cowboy hat one week and a fedora the next. I'm going to try to just keep that schedule rolling because those are my two favorite hats. And this is a 100X. We'll throw up a bunch of pictures, but Cindy has custom liners, and here on the band, it says it was custom made for me. And I've had this probably over 3 years. I've had this hat, and the official color of it is steel gray. And what can I tell you? It is extremely simple, but yet it is a Western weight, so it's very hard. The brim is very, very stiff, but it's not overly stiff. Something I see now, like in Stetson hats. If I pick up a Stetson Western, which I only actually own a couple of Stetson Western hats because the quality sucks, just to be frank with you. And they're not a working hat. This hat here, for me, is not just a statement of style. This is a hat that I use in the absolute worst conditions. I don't care if it's 100 degrees in the middle of the summertime, where I would typically wear straw. If it's coming a downpour and I've got to feed the cows and it's an extreme downpour, a straw is no good. You watch almost anybody you want, and they'll tell you that a straw will It'll fold down. Your head will look, like Melvin Goins said, like a ball in a sack. And of course, there's the shantung straw, which is actually made of paper and then lacquered. Now, those are a little more durable in the rain, but the bad thing about them is you absolutely just go deaf in them, because you know they're real plasticky hat, and all the rain falling on them, and the rain just instantly rolls off of them. They're more of a hindrance to me than a help in rain. So if it's heavy downpour, I'll wear this hat, and this hat has been rained on countless times. You know, going out with cows 30, 40, 50 minutes at a time in very, very heavy rainfalls. This hat, Bert, the legendary bull Bert, has wore this hat. We used to put it on his head some. This hat has been slap dab in the middle of cow shit, and I do mean that. I don't mean poop. I mean gigantic piles that are so big that that's the only word you can use to describe them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. But it's been right in that, and you bring it in, you just you clean it up, you brush it off, you set it upside down, let her dry out, you put her back on your head, and it's a wonderful hat. She puts the liners that she uses, they're not plastic like some of the old Stetson liners, and the higher quality Stetsons had plastic up here. These are more of a rubbery material. They're very, very nice, and I think that's her husband that's depicted on the top of the liner in this. I'm pretty sure. And I'll put this thing on. I love this hat. I absolutely love it. And of course, I'm going to do like this so you can't see me. But I love this hat. This hat band, nothing really. I like the look of it. You know, it's real Southwestern kind of look, but you can change up the look of the hat completely. This is a beaded job, so we can slide it right off. Let's see here. I got this one. This is a band made by a guy over close to El Paso. I've got several bands from him. I'll probably get it on crooked, but this is, you know, you got your Texas star there in the center. It's got turquoise and got some braiding action going on. You know, you can completely change the look of a hat with a band. But this is a very, very, man, I can sit around and just feel this hat. Cindy doesn't use powder, finishing powders, because her hats are made not just for some of the show people that do horse shows, but primarily for working cowboys. And the thing about powders is they tend to run. I've seen people with Resistols, which is another Hatco brand, get out in the rain, and I'm talking about very, very expensive Resistol hats. And they have a black hat on, and before you know it, their clothes, their boots, everything turned black because of the dyes and the powders running. You don't get that on one of these. And Cindy's prices are extremely reasonable. I'll also put a link to her website. And she's, you know, I'm not affiliated in any way. I ordered a hat from her, and I thought that she just did a superb job. The craftsmanship is just absolutely outstanding. Something that you don't often see, even among custom hatters. The pouncing, which is the sanding and the finishing of this hat, was absolutely wonderful. I need to do a little work on it. I've got my crease is a little bit off. I've had cows step on this hat, step on it, grind it into the ground. And like I said, it's survived everything. It feels, looks as good as it ever did. So if you're interested in custom hats, you might want to check Cindy out. Most of her work is Western, but she does do some fedoras and some other things, I know. You know, like I say, no affiliation. We're going to do these every week, and I figured I'd start with my absolute favorite one of all in the westerns. But we'll get into some other stuff, some more custom hatters, and some more economical rodeo kings and different things like that too. But please subscribe and check these videos out in the description box and see what Cindy does. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Take care.